upon your people. And then we go into Psalm 4, which talks about being safe in the Lord, and an evening prayer. Psalm 3 is a morning prayer. Psalm 4 is an evening prayer, probably coming out of the same difficult time in David's life. And he said, "Hear me when I cry, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me when I was in distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long, O you sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood?" He understood the motives of the rebellion. "But know that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him." And then he said, "Be angry and do not sin. Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still." And he says, "Selah, offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord." And so while he's in the middle of this whole trial, he remembers, wait a second, verse 3, "I am the Lord's." The Lord hears me, and we can rest in him when they're in the midst of that difficulty. And then, interesting in verse 5, "Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord." In other words, while this rebellion is going on against him, he's saying, and he says to us when we're in that same place, that place where we're being betrayed, he said, listen, just keep doing what's right. Just keep doing good. And then commit that bigger picture to the Lord. You offer the sacrifices of righteousness and trust in the Lord. Sometimes in situations like that, it's just best to not say anything and leave those things to the Lord while we do good. I've rarely regretted what I didn't say. There are many who say, "Who will show us any good?" In other words, the people with David are discouraged. "Lord, lift up the light of your countenance upon us, for you have put gladness in my heart, more than in the season that their grain and wine increased." He says, "God, the fellowship that I'm having with you, though I'm running from Jerusalem in the midst of this great betrayal, what I have in this situation is more than they have in the abundance of their grain and in the abundance of their, the power that they've gained, and all that they've gained doesn't compare to what's happening between you and I in the midst of this trial." And isn't that the truth in our lives? You ever find that? You can say, "Oh boy, this trial is going to be the death of me," or "This is going to be," and isn't it the sweetest fellowship so often happens in times like that? He said in verse 8, "I will lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety." Lord, I'm safe because I'm resting in you. And so this is the psalm of an evening prayer, just meditating on, I'm safe in the Lord. And when you put your head on the pillow, some of you don't go to sleep right away. And others of us, it's a stopwatch. The head hits the pillow and we're gone until whenever. But others, there's that moment where our head hits the pillow and those final thoughts, and David's just saying, I'm safe in you, I'm safe in you, Lord, I'm safe in you, and he heads off into